Hey everyone, welcome to a special on-location episode of Superman's Trick Shot Tuesday. It's the fourth Tuesday of the month, so you all know what that means. I'm on location at the 2026 Super Billiards Expo to talking about this current sponsor of today. He's been with me for a long time, Bill Curran, Optical. All right, everyone, so I'm here at the Super Billiards Expo, like I said, and I'm here with Bill Curran of Bill Curran Optical. So, Bill, nice to see you today.
Brian, great to see you.
Awesome. So, you're a licensed optician.
Yes.
So, kind of tell everybody how that came to be.
Okay, my dad started the optical business in 1952. So we're coming up on almost 75 years we've been in business, thanks to my dad. And then about at least 10 years ago, my son came on board as an optician, and he's going to take the business another, how many years, keep things going. But I've been doing this all my life. I started working when I was about 16 in the optical business, went to school for opticianry, and so it's been a great line, and we love the business, and that's how we got started. Yeah.
Awesome. So why that branch of business? Why that? What drew you to that?
The billiard business. Yes. Well, about 15 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, one of our regular customers came into us, and he was local, and he said he was having trouble using his glasses playing billiards. So he said, "Can you kind of design something?" We said, "Well, we've never done this before, but we're willing to try." So we made him up a sample, and he tried it for a week or so, and he came back and said, "I love the glasses, and he'd tell us what he didn't like. And we'd remake them. He'd try them, come back, said, "They're good, but I'd like you to do this." And after a few tries, we got him to the point, he said, "They're perfect." He says, "My game has never been better." Next thing we know, he's sending all his billiard friends in to get billiard glasses. Well, right around the same time, my son came into the business, and he saw this sample we made. He says, "What's this?" I said, "They're billiard glasses we made for a customer," and now he's sending his friends in. He said, "Well, let's do something with this." So he created an online, website just for billiards. Next thing, and we made a lot of contacts with the different, billiard clubs and everything. Next thing you know, we're selling it all over the country. And then he decided, well, let's go international. So then he started making some contacts in the UK and everything. And now we're selling it all over the world. You name a country, we've sold there. So it's great. And right now, about half of our business is referrals. People contact us and they say, "You made a pair of glasses for my billiard friend, my relative, whatever." That's the best type of business, is a referral, because when they call, it's basically already sold because they've been sold by their friend. These are great, especially if they've gotten beat by their friend who's wearing the billiard glasses. It makes a big difference. So yeah, it's great, and we love coming to the show here. So many people are coming up to us saying, "I have your glasses, I love them. Just want to let you know," and it makes us feel good when people come up and tell us that.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
when you get that positive feedback from people, like actual customers, that's an amazing feeling.
Oh yeah.
So there's one cool thing that these guys can do, and it still impresses me, is you can zero in on what size table you normally play on. So if you play on 9-foot tables, you play on 7-foot tables, you can zero in to like your focus and everything. So kind of tell everybody how that works.
Okay.
I don't know how that works.
All right. About 90% of our sales are online. And when people order online, there's a couple things you have to do. There is a form. It's a very detailed form. We want to know everything about them and their game. They fill out the form, and they have to upload some pictures of themselves, because these are all custom made. It's not one size fits all. Like a lot of places out there that sell billiard glasses, it's one size fits all. We will not do that. We need to receive a picture. We have special software where we can gauge the picture, and it's like having the person sitting in front of us. It's very exact. So some of the questions are, what size table do you play on? 7, 8, 9. How high is your chin above the cue? Somebody whose chin is on the cue, we're going to make the lenses much higher than someone who's kind of just hunched over and they're more in the standing position. Now, in regard to your question about how do we know to modify the prescription, we do not give people their distance prescription. You're not driving a car with these. You don't need to see 50 yards down the road. We figure on 3 to 12 feet. You're never closer than 3 feet to the cue ball, never farther than 12 feet from the object ball. So what we do is we look at a number of things. We look at their age. We look at on the prescription their add power, which is the reading power, different things, and we look at how long the table is. So we factor all that in, and then we modify the prescription with that information in mind. So when people get the glasses, we tell them, do not drive your car with these, don't watch TV with them. These are just for billiards. We also move the optical centers up toward the top of the lens. Generally on regular glasses, the optical center is in the geometric center. But when you're shooting billiards and your head is down, you're using the top 1/3 of the lens. So we move the optical centers up more toward the top. We also reverse the angle of the lenses. Most eyeglasses, the bottom of the lens is angled in towards your cheeks. On our billiard glasses, we purposely angle it away from your cheeks into your brow line, because when you're down shooting, your head's already at a severe angle. We do not want to add more angle to the glasses. It distorts everything. And we add a little bit more facial wrap to the lenses, get them closer to the eyes. And there's about 4 things that we were doing to make them just for billiards. That's why we tell people don't use them for anything other than billiard goos.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And they really work, which gets to me to my last question. Usually I ask people, how did we meet? But there's actually a story there, and I've told you this before, and I'll tell everybody here, and I tell everybody when they ask about the glasses. When I was at the Super Billiards Expo, I came over and I saw these. I was like, oh, they look pretty cool. Saw the price tag on them. I'm like, whoa, that's kind of expensive. I'll think I'll pass. But then 4 months later, I get brand new regular glasses, and they're about the same price. I'm like, oh, I guess they weren't really that too expensive after all. Come back next year, tried his demo pair. I got down, I was like, whoa, there's definitely a difference. So we just kind of had a conversation. I was like, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do. We kind of like formed a partnership after that. And that's kind of how we meet. Is that how you remember it?
Just want to tell you one more story. One year we were here and a gentleman came up to our table and he said, how much are the glasses? And I said, oh, it's going to be about $500. And he said, oh, that's too much money for me to spend. And I looked down and he was holding a brand new cue, still in the plastic. And I said to him, what did you pay for the cue? He says, about $7,000. And I said, well, if you can't see what you're shooting, you wasted your $7,000. I said, because you can't shoot what you can't see. And it's like his eyes just lit up. He said, you're right. He sat down, he ordered a pair.
Yep.
But yeah, the best cue in the world will not help you if you can't see the balls clearly. You want to see the edges clearly, and that's what our glasses are going to do.
Absolutely. Like I said, I've been using these for a number of years now. I highly recommend them. Their website is always tagged on the YouTube video, so check out their website. Bill, thank you again.
Thank you.
For everything.
Always a pleasure.
All right.
Take care.
Take care, everybody.
I want to say a big thank you to all my sponsors that have helped me throughout the years. Opportunities like this would not have happened without their support. I have links to all of them in the description of this video. Check them out. That concludes this week's video. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. It helps me out and I'd really appreciate it. As always, thank you everyone for watching. Hope to see you in the future, and make sure sometime if you see me at an event, stop by and say hello. Until next week, stay super everyone.